Good morning. Having a little technical difficulty this morning. Thank you for being patient. Welcome to the Archangel Pick a Card. I'm so glad you are here. It looks like all systems are go. I This is my second try at Archangel reading. The other day I had a technical issue, and I lost the readings, and I needed to delete them. And it's so unfortunate because they were really good readings, and I know that the heart was there to bless the people that were there. But if you were here for the last Archangel reading, my apologies. Welcome today. Let's just get a nice flame going with our Palo Santo, because you know what? One of the hardest things to believe sometimes is that the angels really do give a hoot. And I can promise they do. Angels are so important in many, many religious persuasions around the world, and they cross denominations, don't they? So there's just so much unity and peace that they want to bring to our lives. So today I've selected 3 Archangel cards, and we are going to pick one. Now, I will tell you that you could profit from listening to this whole reading, because each of these angels, as it turns out, has a collaborative message with each other, which isn't unusual because angels do like to hang out together. Hark the herald angels sing. It's always pluralized. So pile 1, pile 2, pile 3. The cards have already been shuffled and dealt, and so I'm going to move forward right away and bring us to pile 1. I'm Catherine, and this is Fish Out of Water Tarot, where I love to do readings for people who are a bit shy, a bit introverted, and maybe even a little bit doubtful about what it is that the universe can really offer us in terms of guidance. So, our very first card, we lead off with Archangel Michael. And Archangel Michael is a big favorite on my channel. You guys, whenever Archangel Michael shows up, y'all come on board, which makes me want to encourage you to hit the thumbs up on any of my themed readings that you enjoy, because that's the way I know to do more of them. So far, the biggest thumbs up for me has been on the soulmate reading I did. So if you haven't seen that one, go check it out. But if you like these Archangel readings, let me know. All right, let's jump up there. Archangel Michael says for you, pile number 1, it's absolutely essential for you to remember who you are. Many times when life has ganged up on you, you've had unfortunate circumstances that have brought you down. Archangel Michael sees that. See how the sword is, or the wand is pointed down here, and then the victory flame is pointed up. Archangel Michael has walked along with you all along. It's an amazing, powerful energy that is Archangel Michael, that he can be in more places than one time. But he's here today to remind you how loved you are and how important you are to Murphy. Murphy had to get up and cheer for you, pile 1. So let's take a peek at the tarot and see what it is. Why is it that it's so important for you to remember who you are? All right, pile 1. For your first oracle, we have gratitude. Yes, because often when you are having a bad day, or when you're having a time when things aren't going right, guess what? It's almost impossible to find something to be grateful for. But that is such a key. One of the things that I learned, you guys know that I'm a fan of Abraham Hicks, and one of the techniques that they suggest is that you walk around your house touching your belongings. Like I'm putting my hand right now on a painting that my grandmother gave me in 1974. And I can say, I love this painting. I can put my hand on the wall and say, I love this wall. I know it sounds silly, but when you've forgotten yourself, you don't know who you are in energy, starting off with small gratitudes is the first step for sure. Your second oracle card is regeneration. So what this is showing me is that the storm that you've just been through, my dear pile 1, The storm is passing. It's time to regenerate. One of the things about this card is that color blue. Archangel Michael is encouraging you today, pile one, to be able to just speak up what has not been working so far and to be able to understand how to communicate that you are not who you were 5 years ago. You are in the process of regeneration. Did you know that lizards can lose their tail and grow it back? They are the spirit totem signal sign for regeneration. It might be real helpful today for you to Google the spiritual meaning of lizard and see if that resonates with you. Let's take a quick peek at our tarot pile number one and see what we have here. Ooh, yeah. So what I see is that, make sure you guys can see. All right. Is that you do things differently. All right. One of the problems for you over time has been that you do march to your own drummer. And I have a feeling that as you've taken charge of your life and you just say, look, y'all, you're just going to have to deal with it. I don't even understand my own life, but I have to go my own way. That is, in a way, you've lost a little bit of your identity there. And it's causing you to figure out, what is it? Who am I? I don't want to give up what I've gained. And no one is asking you to do that. But there's something in your background that is nagging at you. There's a sense of this regeneration. If you do change something, will you lose your personal autonomy? Let's take a look at our second card. And I would say, absolutely not. The promise for you, and isn't this a great deck? Let me just get the picture so I can show you, because I do love this deck. Isn't that cool? But anyway, what I'm seeing here with the Four of Wands is stability. All right. It's a promise of stability. So you could be building a business, you could be building a marriage, you could be building a soulmate plan to find a partner. But there's something here, a deep promise within you that is not going to be disappointed as you go back to your roots. There's something in your talents, perhaps. Maybe you were good at something when you were a child. Maybe between the ages of 13 and 23, there was something you did that you loved, but you're out of touch with it. Again, I do private readings, as you know. There are so many tarot readers here on YouTube, so don't hesitate to reach out for more cards, because we can only tell a little bit, of course, from our mini readings here. But it looks to me, pile number one, Archangel Michael is clearly saying to you, there's something about who you are you're not recollecting. So let me just draw you affirmation from I love using these white cards because they are a signal of just that purity, the purity of your intention, the purity of your soul, right? Because there's a part of you that really wants to simply fit and feel like you're making a difference and you're connected. Okay. The white makes me think of the white feather. White feather has been showing up all the time. I did a short today on white feather. You might want to take a peek at it. And let's pull our affirmation for y'all. Pile one. And this says it. Actually, I can. So this speaks directly to your own self. When you get doubtful, oh, I could never do that, you say, actually, I can. Your inner mind says, I wouldn't talk to that person. You don't have the strength to speak your mind. And you say right back to your own self, actually, I can. I would definitely write that on a Post-it note, hang it into your place. You'll see it a lot, and do live that out. Actually, I can. Okay, so now we're going to go to pile number two. Thank you for selecting pile number two of our archangels. And for you, we have Archangel Raziel. And look at the wisdom pouring off this card. Look at we have a sense of maturity. So coming off of our first deck, where you're recovering your ability to understand who it is that you are, Archangel Raziel is here to remind you that your core being your soul, the part of you that is connected to God. I personally believe that I am a blended being. Abraham Hicks is the one that taught me that language, a blended being, meaning that my inner being, the divine part of me, is always with me, cannot be split off from me. But I could say unfortunately, but fortunately, I have a human part. My human part is probably not even half of the power of my invisible self, my inner being. So Archangel Raziel is here clearly to let us know that human power is not going to get us anywhere. That if we depend on our human strength, we're in trouble because we need to acknowledge and understand that our inner being, the faithful companion, always there, always waiting for us to plug in. So taking back your power is simply turning inside. Use your God given power and intention, not your human. If you're exhausted and you just feel like giving up, that's because in today's reading that you have been relying too much on your humanity and not enough on the divine or the energetic, the invisible, highest and best part of you. Okay, pile two. Excuse me. Let's see what your oracle is, pile two. Take back your power. Yes, there's something. Okay, now I have tingling going down my arms right now. So I'm wondering if there's somebody in our collective who's listening to this. Do you work with your hands, your arms? Are you a carpenter? Are you a plumber? Are you an artist? But there's something here. I've got all this tingling in my arms, and I'm watching. Look at how she's dancing. The figure is dancing. And so radical acceptance says yes to reality in any given moment. And it's so true that presence is everything for us as we are manifestors. The only thing you can truly create is your reaction to what's going on. And as you control your reactions, all of a sudden you start being in the right place at the right time, and life becomes easier. Like the gears are all engaged and they're working toward you. But if you're allowing your human self to overtake your inner guidance, you're going to feel this sense of being stuck, because we do only succeed when we're in our full energy and our best self. But I'm thinking this is a separate reading. Maybe this is only for one or two of you who are watching. And if it's you, please drop a comment. But there's something you've been stalling on. You're an artist, you use your hands and arms, and you're resisting the call to use that. That seems like an odd message. Not quite sure what that means for you, pile two. Let me know, would you? Okay, let's go to our next oracle, which is by the book. Okay, let me make sure y'all can see that. Okay, by the book. All right, so pile number two, I love how this is setting up because it seems like you need a little education. All right. Now I put into the description box some of my favorite tools. There are detachment tools have pretty much changed my life. So I do like to share those resources. You'll find them in the description box. I hope you see a word that says the solution and then follow that link. But what this is showing me here is that we are very used to just doing what our ancestors did. This is our grandmother, our mother, and there's us. And all we see is an elephant's ass. No, I'm so sorry, don't want to offend anybody. But you grew up looking at the rear end of stuff. Why do I say that? Because in our families, usually the moms and dads are nicest to the people that they work with, right? By the time they come home, they're so exhausted that all you see is the poop end. No offense to anyone. But because of that, something needs to be reversed. And so you need some education. So I'm sensing that if there is, let me see, let's finish the reading and then I will guide you to someone that I think can help. But you may have a book on your bedside table. You may I have a book somebody has recommended to you. The book Ask and It Is Given by Abraham Hicks is probably one of the basics that I could lean you into. Also, I'm spending a lot of time with the work of Dr. Joe Dispenza right now, and amazing placebo work that he can help you rearrange your brain to be a better healer for yourself. And that's the book that I'm listening to, because I do listen to a lot of books. But it does seem here that some education is going to be helping you take your power back, pile two. Let's go on to our oracle deck, and excuse me, our tarot. Oh, Queen of Cups. I love when she shows up. And Six of Cups. This is a big promise for you, pile two. And again, the only reason that I mention when goosebumps come to me during a reading is because what I found over time is that the people that listen to me have goosebumps at the same time that I have goosebumps. And so what I know to be true is that energy travels. So I cannot explain to you, pile two, why the collective readings work. I cannot. But I can tell you, for me personally, Minnow Pond Tarot, Chris Reck, his readings resonate deeply. White Feather Tarot, her readings resonate deeply. And the last is Sunshine. Sunshine has been a blessing to me over years. She even uses names during her collective readings that register to my personal life, which makes me crazy every time. But I do receive deeply from the collective. So, if this is your first time here or you've not had this experience before, I want to let you know that the tarot is showing you that there is a surge coming, a surge of emotional satisfaction. Abraham Hicks said in the recent video I watched that if you find yourself thinking a thought that is not satisfying, you may choose a different thought. All right. So these two here are just so powerful for me in looking at your energy, pile two, because you do miss something about who you used to be. Something in your past has been locked into like a treasure box. The Queen of Cups, her biggest flaw, she loves all the little seahorses of the world, all the little out of kilter people, all the unusual ones she can pour her love out on, but she doesn't take good enough care of herself. So, this replenishment of emotional energy is what your promise is. Remember, I said look back to when you were 13 to 23? Here it is again. There is something going on, some kind of event, some sort of skill, talent that you released back then that is wanting to come back in. All right. So do use the resources in in the description box. See if you can track back and see what part of you is lonely to come forward. Again, this is an ideal time for a private reading. I'm happy to help you, but you do know that there are gazillion tarot readers, and probably one of your neighbors is a tarot reader. So you could walk around and say, do you know any good tarot readers? And you'll have somebody step up. I know it. Okay, let's take a look at your affirmation, pile number two. And we're using this pure white deck because I want you to realize that you can select a brand new version of yourself. You can select a brand new reaction to what's going on in your life. And we have I am creative. Absolutely. Remember the part I was saying about the arms? I feel like for you, pile two, please say this all the time for the rest of the day. Got it? I am creative. Even though I'm not doing anything creative, I am creative. Even though I don't remember being creative, I am creative. Even though I don't want to do this, Catherine says I should, I am creative. All right. So you want to state this because I think your creativity is going to unlock a door. Excellent. Thank you, pile two. Thanks for being here. I'm going to go to pile three. Those of you who are new to me, thank you so much for popping the like button, the thumbs up rather, and for you to follow me right now. It just means the world that we're on the right track, manifesting our best versions of ourselves today with the help of the archangels. And like I said in the beginning, This whole reading today has kind of gone chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. So if you have not heard of pile 1 or pile 2, you do want to tune in because those readings set this up for pile 3. Spread your wings. Again, the white feather has been a huge part of my life for the last, oh gosh, I bet 6 months. Not only have I been watching the White Feather Tarot, one of my favorites, but people have been asking for white feathers. White feathers are showing up in the readings. And in fact, today there's a white feather reading in my dailies. And so spread your wings, pile 3. This is Archangel Ariel. And she says, do not hold back right now. The timing is perfect and you are ready to soar. So I feel like for you, pile 3, do you believe that? Is this your energy? If you feel like, oh no, who me? I couldn't do it, you definitely want to take a peek at pile 1 and 2 because they will show you where this, it's like a, what do you call it? You know how a dam breaks, like after a storm, there's a river and it's got like branches and old tires and maybe an old toilet in there. You know how after a storm, and then suddenly this flush of fresh water washes through and just opens things up. And that's what we're seeing here. Another thing is, have you ever seen a duck or a goose take off from a pond? If you haven't seen that lately, you want to do a YouTube search and watch the effort it takes for a water bird to take off on the water, because I feel that that will give you a picture of what the universe sees as possible for you. A bird on the ground can simply jump up and fly, but the duck or the goose has a lot of work to do. And the universe has been seeing you, pile 3. You are preparing yourself. Let's take a look. Yes, this couldn't be more perfect. First thing I notice is the purple. Everywhere we have this purple, which is the divine energy. And so all of a sudden, things are taking flight. And as this flow comes, your ability to trust it is absolutely essential. Like I said, when you watch those ducks take off, so I please take this advice, YouTube search duck taking off a lake, because they have to walk on water. They walk on water. And I want you to watch it for yourself, because some parts of your life, pile 3, have been like that, where people have expected you to walk on water and you haven't been able to. And your expectation, excuse me, the expectations of others have been like anchors on your being. And it is your time to spread those wings, walk on water. You can do it. Okay, how do I know that's true? Because you have been at a fork in the road and you have been standing still. And all of this energy behind you that is pushing you forward, like the wind is at your back, but you're going to need to make that choice. What is ahead of you? Are you choosing love and money? Are you choosing friends and work? Are you choosing to move or to stay? What is it that's making you indecisive right now? If you are feeling the heavy duty indecision, here's your 2 options. Number 1, go back and watch pile 1 and pile 2, because they will help you get to the place where you can actually take off. And the second thing is, get yourself a reading. If you've been stuck at a fork in the road for longer than a month or 2, get some help. And the cards be happy to help you, but so would your pastor or perhaps a counselor. Whatever it is that you're needing, I think that you're uncomfortable with this internal struggle. So a part of you knows it's time to fly, and another part of you says, how? And again, you got to walk on water. Like, Catherine, what are you talking about walking on water? Watch a duck take off a pond. Here's what you have: 2 of cups. So I was just seeing fork in the road. All right, fork in the road. Again, look at how this is intertwined, right? So these 2 energies are intertwined, and I'm not so sure that that's the best for you right now, okay? Because something needs to be released so that both of these spirits are free. So it does seem to indicate that there's someone else in your life that's kind of tied in here with your decision. And now, this, what I'm getting right now, interestingly, what popped into my head was being in school, like being close to the end of school. And so perhaps there's a listener here, a viewer who's graduating from college right now. And again, this is very specific, but you and your parents have been very close. In fact, they've been your biggest cheerleaders all along. But at this point, now that college is finishing and you're more adult than ever, you're worried to leave them because they've given you so much. And speaking as a grandmother, someone who has seen their children go through school and now be in their careers or have their own children, I can tell you that the steps you take to stay close to your people are in your hands. You can text or call them at any time. And even though at this point you can't imagine that's good enough, trust me, once you've been gone out of the house for a while, it'll be more than enough. And another clue, when your parents text you, just text them back and say, I can't talk right now, because it'll make them so happy. But let's look to our other tarot, and we have the 10 of Cups. Isn't this beautiful? Oh gosh, it is to me as a reader. What it's showing me here is that these are blended beings. I talked about blended beings in one of the readings. I can't remember which one, but we are created with a spirituality or an energetic self. I call it the inner being, it's just my belief system. My humanity is only one part of me. We never want to split off from our spirituality, our energy, our highest self. No, they were never asked to split off from that. But we are being asked to split off from our human part, the part of our personality that would be holding us back. So, some people on this collective reading, you are filled with love for your current situation. There is partnership. There is, what do you call it? Community. See the little, the fishies down there? There's a lot going for you in your current situation, but you cannot stay. It's not time for you to stay. You need to spread your wings and you need to go forward. You're going to be okay. There's no question about it. But your ability to allow yourself, let me just pull these up again. I just want to see that divine flow, to allow yourself to simply use the divine flow to propel yourself into this life decision that's coming up for you. All right. So let's go to our um, affirmation card. And I know I've said this several times, but I know people pop into the readings late. But definitely YouTube duck taking off a pond so that you can see the effort that a duck has to do to get into flight. And I think you'll notice, like I do, that they actually walk on water. And I've said that so much, I don't know how that fits here, but they're in water. Like something's happening, this rainbow, this happily ever after energy. The rainbow's like a portal for you today. If pile number 3, I feel that your ability to trust your gut and know that everything's going to be okay as you flow off into a different story right now. So let's pick your affirmation card again, pure white, pure intention here for your highest good and the highest good of your family members. I am strong. Yep. And when you watch that little duck um, struggle to take off, you better believe. I mean, if we could record the thoughts of animals, maybe they're very positive. Maybe they just picture themselves flying. I wonder what goes through that duck's mind. It's so instinctive, I'm sure, for him to run across the water and take off. But just the fact that the beingness of the duck is, I can do it. So please, if you feel incomplete, listen to pile 1 and pile 2, or let me know. I would love to do a reading for you and bring the cards into focus. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. My heart goes out to each and every one of you that are trying to find the love that you're looking for, and spread your wings, my friends. I'll see you for tomorrow's reading. Bye now.